Okay, in this video, we're going to take a look at some different tools in Photoshop to talk about different using layer adjustments and color variations and brightness and contrast to try to get your images to look like they match the image that you have. So in this advertisement, we're going to use a Mountain Dew bottle. And if you look at the background, I've already included a background layer that has a picture of an inside of a car. Then what we're going to do is I have an image that I've already copied from the internet, and I'm going to free transform it to make it a little bigger to kind of match the size of what the car is. So, like any other art project that we do, you're going to want to make sure that you are modifying and adjusting the image enough to make it your own. So in this picture, I'm going to use just the arm and the bottle of Mountain Dew Ice. So first thing I need to do is I need to crop out different areas. I want to make sure that I'm making this an original artwork. So I'm just selecting certain parts of this just to kind of easily trim it down. Then I'm going to go in and do a little bit more fine detail on my trimming. So I'm just taking the selection tool, selecting an area so that I can zoom in to this area to just crop out the hand. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in. And I'm going to select these different areas. So you can use one of two different things. You could use what's called, and if you click and hold on here, it's called the quick selection mask. It's found in the same toolbar where you would use your magic wand selection tool. Sometimes though it selects too much. So you may need to change your tolerance up on the top, or another thing that we can do is just use the regular lasso tool. See, again, that selected too much there. So in this case, I might need to just hold shift just so I can crop and add to the selections. I want to get his fingertips here. I'm going to go ahead and get this finger. And then I'm going to lasso around the whole bottle. And I like doing it in just little sections so that way if I mess up, I don't have to kind of redo the whole thing. There's also a tool called the polygon lasso, which is a straight edge lasso tool, which sometimes can work better depending on what you're trying to crop out. You know, if I had something that had nice, smooth, straight edges, I'd want to use that. Again, I want to get this hand in here. And so now this is the area that I'm going to use. So what I need to do is erase all the outside edge. So I'm just going to go to select and inverse and then just push delete on my keyboard. So now I have just the hand and the part. You know, if you want to go back in, you can click and you can erase different areas if you didn't quite get it all. If your area looks like it doesn't quite match up. Another thing you can do is you can mask it. And there is another video on masking. But in here, I'm just going to show you how to go to the masking tool. So what I'd want to do is I want to select this object. And then I can go select and mask. And what this will do is I'm going to increase my transparency. I'm going to feather my edges. I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and then I'm going to shift my edge to negative. Notice if you watch around the edge of the bottle, notice how it's kind of a smooth edge now. If I left my edge at minus 100%, or I'm sorry, at 0%, you can kind of see the hard edge of the areas I cut. But if I shift my edge, just think of it as taking the selection and shrinking it down. And then that feathering is what makes the edges look kind of soft. So then I'm going to scroll down again. Before I click OK, I need to change my output settings to layer mask. And then I'm going to click OK. It's going to go back in here. You'll see my layer now with the hand. I'm going to zoom back out to fit screen. And I'm going to make it look like this hand is coming in through the window. So again, I'm going to kind of maybe rotate it a little bit. If you need to make it a little bigger to make it look like it fits the area. And then I'm going to put that in there. Now, the thing that you're going to want to make sure that you do, I'm going to make sure you'll see in the layer mask, you can either select the mask itself or select the object. I'm going to select the object because then I'm going to go up to image and adjustments. I can change different settings in my adjustments. So when I go to image and adjustments, this box will pop up when I click brightness and contrast. Notice the bottle in the hand. You can lighten it up or you can darken it. The idea is that you want to get it to match your surroundings. You can increase your contrast as well. And that kind of, you can just kind of see and just play around with which function works the best. I think that one looks pretty good. I think that hand kind of matches up in there. Another thing I did was I had a hand already put in. This hand now, maybe I'm going to have come in through the other window. So I'm going to go to edit and free transform again. Now with this arm, I'm going to flip it the direction of it to make it look like it's coming through this window. And this arm looks like it's a little too bright. So again, I'm going to go to image and adjustments. And you can do different things with levels and curves too. So I just clicked on levels. And what this will do is you notice it has grayscale here. It has your dark values. So if I increase my darker values, it's going to increase the hand itself. So I want to kind of play around with this. Maybe give it a little bit lighter tone here. Play around with this till I get that to kind of match the lighting of my area. Other things that you can do under adjustments is you can change the hue and saturation. So again, you'll get another little window that pops up right here. And if I just change the hue, depending on, you know, what your advertisement is or what you want to try to do, it'll kind of change the colors for you within your project. Saturation just will intensify colors. If you take saturation out, you can turn it to black and white. So something like with this image, you know, the colors look almost dull on the inside of the car. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of lower my saturation. So adjustments are really going to help kind of make your projects or your different images that you copy and paste fit together to make them look like they're one picture. Now for the advertisement project, you'll notice part of the assignment is that you have to incorporate folders. So right now you'll see that I have a bunch of different layers for my advertisement. This one's going to be a poster ad. So instead of clicking on new layer, what I'm going to do is actually click on new group. Okay, so it looks like a little file folder. I'm going to change this group title to poster. And then I'm going to take each of these layers. If I just hold shift, you notice how I select all the layers at once. And I can drag those into the poster folder. What's nice about this is that it keeps everything neat and organized. So now instead of opening and closing each layer, and I don't have to merge the layers, I can keep them separate, but I can condense them into one folder. So when I close this eye, it'll get rid of all the layers at once. And I have another example where a magazine ad maybe be starting. I would want to add more text and wording to it. And then the top one here, billboard ad, it's kind of the start of working on a billboard. But then again, you can click in each one and you notice that you can have separate layers within inside those folders. So that is using image and adjustments to kind of change the tone and the look of your image to get it to fit other areas that you have in your artwork. And then this video also showed you how to create group folders where you can organize your layers into folders to clean up your layer side and just make things a little bit easier as you're editing.